Because you're not an alien in our city, you're a neighbor.
We welcome all individuals and families who want to work, live, and thrive here in our beloved city.
Within our domain, we're very clear. We don't ask about immigration status.
That's like 1 billion people probably would want to go to Minnesota. I hope they're ready. Well, maybe they should care a little bit, because if they did, their cities would be a lot safer. And thanks to the Trump administration, they will be. Cesar Augusto Polanco from the Dominican Republic was just picked up by ICE after getting paroled in Massachusetts. He was serving a life sentence for killing his pregnant girlfriend. Then there's Edgar de la Cruz Manzo, a Mexican national and convicted child rapist. He was arrested in Seattle. And then there's Yared Garamu Mekonnen, an Ethiopian national and convicted sex offender. He was arrested in New Orleans. Now, more than 5,500 criminal aliens have been arrested since Trump took office. Where are they headed? Well, Gitmo. Joining me now, Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security. Secretary Noem, thanks for joining us. How soon will Gitmo be ready? We kind of floated this idea a couple of nights ago because obviously they had all the Haitian refugees there. But how soon will the facility be ready to take in these illegals?
You know, it won't take very long at all. We already have some dangerous criminals there that are illegal aliens. And so the facilities can be stood up quite quickly. They're soft-sided. We have the space. We just got to get to work.
What do you think of these officials from blue cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul, that are essentially saying, don't even think about worrying, we got you, to the aliens?
Well, they're not taking care of their people. Clearly, we want to come in and help make their streets safer. It was amazing to me the other morning when I was in New York City. It was 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and the community members were walking past us on the streets and saying, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for getting these folks out of these apartment buildings, these dangerous criminals. They're walking their kids to school at 7 o'clock in the morning. I can't imagine doing that when these drug dealers and weapons dealers and rapists and murderers were on the streets.
Well, you got 15 million, at least, people to remove from the country. Right. 5,500, there are a lot of really bad people in that group, but that pace is going to have to be picked up by about 15-fold in order to remove that many people. Can you do that?
We can. But we're going to need partnerships. And we've got a lot of folks coming out of retirement that want to be a part of these task forces. We've got retired sheriffs, law enforcement officers. We've got a lot of folks that are coming back because of what President Trump has done to inspire them to be a part of keeping America safe.
But to that point, Madam Secretary, we have these blue city mayors, and I want you to hear from Brandon Johnson about whether they're going to comply. If you go to the trouble of getting a subpoena to pick up a child sex offender, this was his response.
This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen.
Is being ran by, okay. Well, it looks like some of these mayors aren't going to comply with any subpoenas. And President Trump, I believe you said there will be repercussions. Are you all going to follow through, and what are those repercussions going to be?
Yeah, we're still going into their communities. We're still going into their communities.
But how about with the officials that interfere with federal law enforcement?
You know, they will, but the federal government has the authority to go in and to make their communities safer, especially these that are perpetuating dangerous
Well, what about these officials who get in your way? Will there be repercussions for them personally?
You know, the reality is these sanctuary cities, their laws have caused us problems. I mean, they are limiting some of our tools that we want in our toolbox, but we're going to continue to go in and use our operations and then show in other cities how it's working and tell our story to the American people. The people in their community need to hear how their mayors, their elected officials are protecting the criminals.
But will you go after them personally? I'm going to ask for the third time. Will you go after, I mean, I'm asking a question because I expect an answer. Will you go after these individual mayors who are saying essentially they're going to thwart federal authority? You guys have the authority over immigration enforcement. They don't.
Listen, Laura, nobody's above the law. Of course we will. But that's up to President Trump. President Trump gives us a direction. I don't sit here and make up a decision on what I do. I follow the law. That's my job, is we treat everybody the same in this country now that we have President Trump in the White House, and he's going to give us direction on how we're going to go after these individuals.
You were up north, and you were in New York. Where are you going next?
I was in Vermont today and on the Canadian border talking about some of the challenges that we've had. I think most people are worried that we're going to steal resources from the northern border in order to secure the southern border, and that's not what we're going to do.
You're going to seal it all down.
Yeah, we'll reinforce.
You have your work cut out for you. We'll be